Hello and welcome back. It's been quite a while. Um, and we are in a new world. This probably looks very unfamiliar. And so to start things back off, I thought I might just do a little bit of a world tour to kind of show people what's been going on in this new world. If you had watched the previous stuff, that was all in a separate world. It was years ago. I'm the type of person that likes to constantly be starting new worlds, and I kind of like the beginning of the game, which is maybe a little bit unusual, but I'm always starting new things, and I've been having fun in this world a little bit, and I thought it might be fun to post about it on YouTube again. So we're just going to kind of do a little bit of a tour today, which I thought would be very fun. So we can head on over this way, because this is where everything's kind of being built. There's not much else in the world, but, it's kind of cool. We head on over here. We've got, oh, look at this. This is a eloquent, exquisite, enchanting setup. Look at this. It's got all the books you would ever need, like every other enchanting setup you've seen, and it's got stuff to enchant and books and things that are enchanted and combining enchanting and de-enchanting, and it's got everything. And then you got farms. Oh, wow, very unique. I know. Anyways, we're gonna go head over to the more unique stuff. um, we've got this beautiful little build here that I have been working so hard on, and I feel like it's turned out pretty good so far. I might change things still a little bit, but I don't know. It's just, I've really nailed something cool here. And so down here in the basement of our little building, we've got our whole storage area, which I realized after making this and putting it all in here and fitting everything, still might not be enough because there's some things that don't have their own chests yet. Like I would love an ice chest or a concrete chest or I guess no, I don't need that, but like a couple other chests that would be nice and have overflow over here because I got a lot of stones left over. But it's good. It's good. You got lots of empty space in a lot of these chests, but it's good organization. And then something a little fancy that we're doing here in this world is I've added some cool data packs and mods. They're mostly optimization mods. I mean, there's nothing that like changes the actual game. It's like just makes my game run faster and stuff like that. But some data packs that do change the game a little bit is that when you kill mobs, you sometimes get their heads dropped. So you can see I've had a few wandering traders come by that I have not been quite so friendly with. I've killed some fish in my time. I got just a regular old vanilla wither skeleton skull, but it's kind of fun, I got like a slime's head, and you can actually wear it, so you can just be a little slime, and it's just kind of fun. And then of course, if you want to, you can also put them on the ground. And no, put it on the ground. So if you just want to like look at it, it looks like a little tiny slime that's just permanently there. Like I love that. And then what we've also got besides just mob heads is we've also got essentially the same shape. It's like the head, but it's a little block. And you can get them from wandering traders. You can trade with them. So wandering traders actually have like a good purpose besides just kind of being annoying. Now they can actually give you these little fun little blocks. You give them like one version of the normal one, and then it turns into 8 of these tiny ones. And I think you can put them on your head as well. Yeah. I can just have stone on my head, which is kind of fun. Or, if you want it to look like, I don't know, there's like a little piece of stone on the ground, you can have it like that. I haven't really been using them around at all yet. I haven't found quite the use for it, but I don't know. I want to use these is the thing. Also, apparently, let me see that. I don't think it's gonna stack anymore. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, well, lesson learned. If you use it, then it won't stack, which is fine. But I've got quite a few ones, and like this little barrel one. Oh man, I should really be using that in some places. But as for my little storage room here, I don't think there's anything too special about it. We got a little composter. So you put your little stuff you want to compost up there, and then you get bone meal down here, which is pretty darn cool. I've got this copper flooring that I've just been waiting to slowly but surely age over time. I've not like set aside my copper to age quickly. I've like just built with it in the normal form and then kind of been waiting for it to age because I like the green, the like final stage, but it'll get there one day. We got that extra storage furnaces. There's nothing too special here. So now we can go outside a little bit. And then also that roof. I had also been waiting for so long for it to get to any sort of green stage. And I think it looks pretty now. And one of the cool things I've got as a mod that's a bit cheaty, but it's a little free cam mod. So I can fly up into the air. You can see it's like a little spectator account. I'm still over here. I'm not actually flying, but I can see from up here my little house. And so I can be like, oh, how does this look or whatever? If I'm building, I don't have to like go all the way over here to go like view it or whatever, or pillar up or whatever. I can just look. And it's super nice. And it gives you all a very great perspective on how cool this place looks. We've got a little satellite dish up here, which I love. It's a little big. That's the one thing I don't love about it, but I mean, for Minecraft stuff, like, it's pretty cool. And it serves another purpose, which is to have this lightning rod. It's been thunderstorming sometimes, and this barn back here is all wood, and that'd be terrible if that burned down. So, you know, you don't want that. Let me just quickly sleep. So, besides just this little building here, we've also got these cool power lines that are kind of going over. I'm trying to go for like a bit of like an early technology, like early electricity era type build where like, I don't know, you still need wood piled up because you still got like a wood burning fireplace or whatever, which technically inside there doesn't have a fireplace at all. But you'd imagine like that's how they were heating their home. But you have like some electricity. So you do have like a few power lines. It's like early eras. And then I've got this road here that's just like dirt, muddy look. I'm thinking I might change it to look like an old cobblestone street, not actually made out of Minecraft cobblestone, because Minecraft cobblestone kind of looks ugly, and I don't want my road to look ugly. But like, I don't know, you've all probably seen of like an old cobblestone street, and so I thought maybe changing this up a bit to look like that would be kind of cool instead of more of a dirty look. I think this like path look is good for some places, like up here when it's just like a walking path. But you can imagine maybe like, I don't know, some like early cars were going on these roads or something, and you know, we're gonna expand this area a bit to have other like buildings, and we're gonna connect them up and stuff. And so it's kind of what I'm feeling. But up here, we've also got this little patio, little porch, or little place. I don't really know what the proper term would be but I love this little leafy overhang that I've put here. It feels so cozy, and you can, I think, get in here. Yeah, you can sort of get in here. It's not like great, but you know, you can sit at the table and pretend to, you can eat a carrot. Look at that. Wow, yeah, you're eating at the table. Okay. And then we've got this little room up here that is very little cozy. I've made it have a wall that's different than the outside, which is kind of fun. It's like a wallpaper, but it really squishes the room size. And also, as you can see, I have not decided what's actually going to be up here yet. But we've also got this little balcony up here, which is pretty fun. That's an air conditioner, if you were wondering. You can, I don't know if it looks quite right, but you know, like, maybe this is weird, like, era of technology that they're still using like wood to like heat their house. But then they've also got an air conditioner, but obviously like it's not built into the house. It was added after the fact. Like this place used to be without electricity, and then they added it later. And so they wanted some way to cool their house, and so they were like, "Oh, air conditioner, let's just stick it out the window," because that's what you do if you have one of those. So I thought it was a good idea. Hopefully it looks generally good. If we head on out here, we've got the horse area, which is maybe what you could have guessed by all these big pillars. And if you didn't guess by those big pillars, I'll show you in a second what they're actually for. But I've got all these horses in here. and they've all got low markers on them to show what health they have. Where's the health? That's the health is the bottom one. You've got the jump, which is the middle one, and you've got the speed, which is the top one. So let's go take the best guy out. This guy right here, he's almost perfect, at least in speed and jump. So he's got a speed of 14.2, which is almost the fastest that you can get. It's like a little bit under it, but it's like practically there. And then 5.25 is the highest jump that you can actually measure without some other third-party tool, because that's like the smallest increment that it goes to for the highest height. So he's the best jumper and pretty much the fastest. And then he's got like decent health. It's not crazy. I think the top health you can get is 30, and he's got 22.9. So like he's okay. But if you're wondering how I actually figure out how much speed this guy has, I've got also another mod. It's very helpful. It's called Mini HUD, which, let me turn off some of that. But in the upper left, I've got some little things up there that can show you. It's like a mini F3 sort of, but it's also got some extra features in it. One of them being that if you're on a horse, it doesn't show you normally, but when you're on a horse, it'll show you the horse speed, which is 4.28 or 4.208. So yeah, that's how I figured it out. You can set up like redstone, like racetracks, where it's like, it'll time you with the redstone or whatever, but then you have to like try to somehow convert it over to blocks a second, or meters a second, sorry, whatever you want to call it, to like compare it to what's on the wiki, but I don't know. This was just very easy. And then these are all for measuring the jump. So this is the highest over here at 4.25. That's the highest any horse can jump. Look at that. He can make it. Pretty cool. And then I had to have all these because, you start like all the way down here. And then I made these later because I was like, I need even smaller ones to measure even less. It took me a little while to get here, but I'm pretty happy. And one day I want to get the actual perfect horse with even like 30 health. And maybe even like perfect speed, not just close speed. I think that'd be cool. But, I mean, this guy's pretty great, so I don't know if I need much else. If we head on out here, showed you guys the little pillars. We've also got a little mud maker. You know what? I'm gonna actually show you this in action, because I think it's kind of cool. If you haven't seen a little mud maker before. I designed it myself, by the way. Not that there's like a lot of unique or different ideas for how to do it. I just like didn't look up a tutorial. I was just like, I'm gonna figure this out myself. And then I did. And so that's pretty cool. Actually, you want to grab this shovel because this one doesn't have any efficiency on it. You need like the speed of an unenchanted diamond shovel. And then what you do is you hold right click and left click at the same time. And then it makes mud. And how you make mud in this game, oh, I'm picking up some of the water bottles. That's not good. How you make mud in this game is... Why is this causing problems? Okay, so let me just walk you through exactly how this works, and then I can figure out what was going on that was breaking it. But the idea is that these go down here, but down this way, there's a hopper down here that has a bunch of glass bottles. So it'll only pull glass bottles out of this one. Oh, I see. It was picking 1 and 9. When you'd have a glass bottle here, it would try to use it before it got sucked down below, which is a bit of a problem. I hadn't come across that earlier. Maybe I'll have to check back in on that. But then the glass bottles go down here, and then every time it uses one of these, it also sends a pulse over that it'll spit out one of the glass bottles, make it into a water bottle. Because there's no room in here, the water bottle will pop out, flow up, and then go over to this side, and then the water bottle will go over here. So I guess it's not perfect, whatever my design is, because I still gotta refine it a little bit, but it's kind of fun. And obviously this isn't a permanent location, if you couldn't have guessed. I needed it to make this road over here, because this packed mud that's part of this ground is this mud mixed with some wheat, and it makes this packed mud. which makes an awesome looking little like muddy road. And you can also make them into mud bricks, which are like these over here, which is a super awesome looking texture. So I'm hoping to use this more often, so I definitely need to find like a permanent place for this and also fix it of its issues, but pretty cool. Now, if we head on further in, we've got some more fun stuff. We've got this little alleyway of contraptions. That's what I'm going to call it. So we've got a sugarcane farm. Pretty crazy. It's not using anything too unique. It's like pretty standard design. At least I think. If I go over here, you can see that it's like alternating between either a redstone dust or just a block. Its idea is that like if it grows, any of the sugarcane grows, only the one underneath it will hopefully get pushed, right? It'll grow, it'll sense that, and then it'll just push down here. And so this one that's still partially grown still has time to grow up into the one above. The only downside is you can never quite do that perfectly. So I forget which one it is, but one of them will push out the one underneath it and the ones next to it. And then the one next to that will just push out the one underneath it. It's kind of like alternating between pushing 3 and pushing 1. And it's like as close as you can get, and it's pretty good efficiency. Let me sleep again. But besides that, it's got this mud down here, which mud is slightly smaller than a normal block. It's slightly lower down. You can't see it. It looks normal, but it's like soul sand where you sink into it. I don't know if you guys can see that, but you sort of sink into it. So because of that, you can have hoppers underneath that can actually pick up the things that fall onto the mud. So we've just got a whole chain of hoppers that fill up these, and I've got quite a lot. Honestly, I need to like expand the storage a bit because I'm gonna run out at some point. That over there is not running. The little hopper minecart that's supposed to be picking this up, but this is that side's pumpkin apparently, and this side is what do you call it? Watermelon. And normally when you break a watermelon with a piston, it makes little watermelon slices. But we've got a little auto crafter down here, which is another cool little thing that I'm trying out. It's going to be in the next update of Minecraft, but I've gotten it a little bit early. I have some, not all of, but some of the experimental new features added into this world. So I've got auto crafters, I've got the new tough blocks, which you've probably been seeing and I just hadn't been talking about, but they're in here. And what else? There's also some new copper blocks that I have. Like the trapdoors, copper trapdoors. You've probably seen some of those over on my build. There's like grates as well, and some fun like decoration. And then the one other cool thing is the auto crafter. So it makes them into little full melons, so I don't have to worry about crafting them up myself. It does it automatically. But let's say this thing stops because it probably got like loaded weird in between chunks or something. What I can do is this is what I have been doing. I can get on into here, and then you can just push it a bit. You get it going, and then you make your way out of here. Oh, and it stopped because it hit me again. So let's keep on that, keep that going, and then you put it back, and it's going again. It's all good. And I probably need some more storage for this as well because it's really filling up. But if we go down here, this is a little mushroom farm, a big mushroom farm, but it doesn't have any mushrooms around here. I should really have some storage for those. So give me 1 second. Okay, so I've got some mushrooms now. What you do is you put it into your offhand, you start it up. We've got a bunch of bone meal in here, shooting these pretty rapidly, and then you just place it down and it grows a big mushroom instantly because of all the things bone mealing all at once. And then you break it down, you get all your fun little blocks, and then you put down another one and you break it down again. And it's honestly pretty satisfying with how quick it breaks it down. And if you ever need more mushrooms that are like tiny ones, you can get some of the tiny ones from the big ones if you don't silk touch it. Because right now my axe has Silk Touch, but if you had an axe without Silk Touch, that's the way you could get more mushrooms, the tiny mushrooms. But mushroom stems are such a cool looking block that I want to use them more often, but they're pretty expensive, and so this maybe will help me a little bit with getting them easier. And then these blocks here, I feel like they could be good used somewhere. I don't know, you get a lot of them when you're trying to get these mushroom stems, so there's probably some good use for them. And then the red ones, you could also make the red ones in here, but I don't really have a good use for those like red mushroom block things. But over here is a bone meal farm using moss. So we've got a bunch of bone meal that's just ready to go from this thing. And so if you turn it on, we can see how it actually works. And what it does is it bone meals this moss block here, which then gets a bunch of moss all the way around here and all the things that spawn on top of the moss as well, like the little bushes and little grass. And then what it does is it pushes it all with new stone that's being generated by a stone generator. There's a stone generator on every side. So it pushes in new stone afterwards. And then it also washes all the stuff that popped off or all the moss that you just, replaced by pushing in with it. And then all that stuff comes down over there. And if we go down over here, you can see that once it comes down, it gets into all these composters. And it gets turned into a bunch of bone meal. And then the bone meal comes up over here. Comes up over here. Goes over this, which this leads back into the dispenser over here to make more moss. And then the access goes up and over here into my little storage, which is pretty cool. And so this design here that I've made is based pretty closely on the one Etho made, if you guys know him. He made this in a couple of his worlds, or his single-player world, and also like on the Hermitcraft server that he plays on. So I essentially replicated it, but then I changed a few things with where the redstone is located so it could fit better into here and I could have it look all nice. And then we'll just turn that off so it isn't constantly in the background. Over here, we've got some little allays, which I haven't had a use for yet, but I just needed to put them somewhere, and so I put them into a little room, and it's kind of depressing, because it's like, but you just like, you pretend like they're not there or something. Over here, we've got a little flower farm. Now, what's kind of cool is if we hit H again for the little mini HUD thing, we can see that we're in the biome of plains over here, but over here we're in a flower forest. So my plan was to make a little flower farm also in the flower forest part, and also have one in the plains. The idea is, and this is gonna be a little, sorry, wrong button. This is gonna be a little loud, so hopefully I'll turn it down in post, but you can start it up, and it's going to make lots and lots of sound. Oh gosh. I actually meant to hit the other one. Oh, it just doesn't clear it. You gotta clear it out yourself at the last one. Okay, that's fine. This is meant to be start, this is meant to be stop. This is another thing made by Etho that I just kind of copied, but you get a bunch of flowers from it. So you can use them for dyes or decoration or whatever you're looking for. And I think these are all the ones that you can get into plains. They kind of just spawn randomly. So you can just get them kind of easy. You put all your seeds that you don't need into here, and it makes a little bit more bone meal for you, which is pretty cool. And then the weird thing about flower forests is that they're not random what flowers will spawn. They're actually set by like a flower map. It's like an unknown sort of thing until you actually like try to find which flowers are where. And it's sort of based... No, I wouldn't say that. It's not based on the seed, but it's like, I don't know. It looks like this. I'm explaining it poorly, but essentially only these flowers will spawn in this whole area. I didn't quite, fill it all in, but this whole area here will just be these flowers. And then these ones this whole area over here, it's just these flowers, and it would probably be a bigger area as well. And then it gets over into these tulips. So this section's like red, this section's orange, this section's white, and then you get into pinks. And so I did all this sort of like digging around to try to figure out where flowers were, because I was trying to find like a spot that had like a bunch of different types in one area so that I could build like a nice contraption like that one, but with like all the other flowers that I would want. But the problem being is this flower map has them pretty spread out. And so I couldn't find a good location. And I found out that because the flower map isn't based on your seed, it's based off of coordinates, 3D coordinates as well. So this changes depending on if you go up or down or left or right. The flower that it'll actually generate changes. And it's like big circles sort of shapes. So like, here, let's fly up and do a little cheaty cam. But you can sort of see that this like flowers, these ones will like go in this shape. It's like a circle. And then this red one is like an outer circle of that. It goes like this. It's like a circle like that. And then the orange, it doesn't quite work over there, but it goes around like the edges of the reds, and then the white goes around the edges of the oranges, and so on. And it makes these like big circle shapes, and it looks really pretty if you like have a big field that you grew all these flowers in. But it just didn't really work out for making a flower farm, and so I've kind of gone off against it unless I need like a specific flower. But then if I do, I might just go and grab it manually instead of using a farm. I don't know. But it was kind of a cool learning thing. I think that was kind of it for over here. There's nothing else this way. So we'll just kind of, oh, you know what? There is one more thing. This is very small. But down here, we won't go all the way down because I don't feel like climbing back up. But this little area is some slime chunks. So slimes can spawn in this chunk, and this chunk, and this chunk. And I just made one little layer of spawning. There's nothing below. But every once in a while, a slime will spawn, and I'll go grab some. I don't need like a lot of slime, but I need a little bit. So that's why I did that. Maybe one day I'll make it into an automatic farm, but I don't use slime that often, so I feel like I'm going to be okay. But that's kind of been my redstone stuff down there. Oh, pillagers. I don't really want to deal with them. I'm just going to ignore them. I can go show you the nearby village that I go get my books at. Which, a project that I'm probably going to do, I don't know if it'll be soon, but at some point, I want to make this path over here or up there, some part of the path connect up to this village that's down this way. So we can go ride our fast horse down there. And you see, the problem is like this is all nice and like fairly flat over here. This is a little bit of a bump. Then you got this weird hill. So I'm gonna need to like, I feel like I want to flatten this whole thing down. Like it's weirdly just sticking out over here. And I don't really want it. So I'd like a road that goes around, goes over here, and then goes down to this village. So we head on over here. We've also got like this little hill that I'd like to like shave down a little bit. I don't know. It'd be a lot of work, honestly, to make this path exactly how I want. But then you go sort of around like this cliffside, and then you go down into this little like water town. It's like a Minecraft Venice, but just shittier because it's a villager village. And don't actually know if many of the villagers have survived. There's one guy there. I know the ones that I've set aside 3 of them, are still alive here. We got a little farmer, we got another farmer. This guy's the better one because he sells, or takes, both the pumpkins and the melons, which is a good way to get emeralds. And then we've also got a mending guy. I'm trying to stay away from villagers because they can be a little too easy to get things from. And they're also very boring to use. They take so much time to set up, and then to actually use them, you're just sitting there trading. It's not all that fun. But it's the only good way to get mending, so I had to use a villager, and then I needed some way to get the emeralds, so that's why I have those like pumpkin and melon farms, so I can go get emeralds for all the mending that I need, and then the rest of this village, I guess there's still an iron golem here. I don't know if any of the other villagers have survived though, besides that one other guy. Oh, there's a whole conglomerate of them up here. Okay, that's cool. But that's the Venice city. I make my pilgrimage down here every once in a while. And that's pretty cool. I think that's about it for exactly what I have done so far. Again, it's pretty small so far. It's I got a lot done, to be honest, because all my gear is all pretty maxed out except for soul speed and what is it? Swift sneak is the new one. I don't have those, but all my tools are all set up, so I've got sort of the basics down. Now it's kind of like the fun part where I just get to build fun stuff, either redstone stuff or fun buildings. I want to get better at building, really. If you were watching some of my past stuff, I had some cool things that I built, but none of it was ever like truly great. It was just sort of like average, in my opinion, because it was very bland in how it was set up. It was like, utilitarian. But it was also sort of futuristic looking, so that was sort of the look that I was going for. But now I'm sort of going into, I don't know, a little bit more realistic, a little bit more worn down, a little bit more busy and how things are laid out. Just, things everywhere, little air conditioners sticking out, power lines and powering things up, going across the skyline, making things looking busy. I don't know. I kind of like it. I hope everyone's enjoyed this little tour into what I've been doing. I figured sharing a bit of my world is always fun on YouTube, so hopefully you guys have all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.